Well, hi there. Welcome to Off the Cuff Ramblings. I'm Jack Willard. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning here as I do this live, unannounced. So it could be a pop on to pop off, but Off the Cuff Ramblings is good. When I come on at midnight, I've called it Midnight Ramblings, but it's not midnight in other time zones, beyond the East Coast of the United States where I am. I mean, it's, I don't know, 6 o'clock or so, 5 o'clock or so in the morning in the UK, and about noontime or so in Australia. So off the cuff is kind of a good title, all encompassing. And it's true because most of what I'm doing is off the cuff, and probably if we garnish an audience at all, it'll be mostly in the replay crowd here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned, where we have well over 5,400 subscribers now, and hope to continue that growth. We shall see. Um, Interestingly, although I have many videos up here on the channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned, and what what is people's favorite topic, I'm laying back from the topic for a while, except for maybe major breaking news. And if you don't know what that topic is, if you're brand new and you just happen to find me, my goodness, there's 5 people watching already. Very good. Let me know who you are. Even if you make up a name, you can even say you're Charles Manson if you want to. Just something respectful. Of course, I don't want to put ideas in your head. Uh, and where you're watching from? Are you watching in one of the United States of America? We've never heard from Puerto Rico. We heard from Hawaii. We've never heard from my favorite state, the state of Maine. Cheryl Everhart. Hi, how are you? How are you? Jack and family. My family seems very small these days since my kids live in Texas. And, but I'm glad you're here. You must be a night owl like me. Um, But anyway, if you don't know what everybody's favorite topic is, when you peruse the videos of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned, I think you'll get it. And there's plenty of great videos on that topic. But since I'm laying back from that, uh, it's an interesting time where, I will be throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. There's so many things going on here in early 2024 as I speak to you. It's another snowy night here, although we're not going to get a lot of snow, but the road in front of the house here is snow covered. There's been no plow by because not so far because there's only about an inch of snow. And I think we might get some more, and it's kind of peaceful. And even though it's 22 degrees, um, it it feels warmer. That's why I took off my sweatshirt, and underneath it, I had the show we used when we celebrated some of the performers of black music. It was one of our live shows. Black excellence. Black excellence. I forgot. It's late. I can't be yelling out. I can't be yelling out. This is not the time for me to sing Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, not that you'd want me to. So, hi, Tammy Wright from Georgia. Yeah, it's been cold in Georgia, right? Um, I know that because Karen, my partner Karen's daughter, lives in Georgia, and there will be no school tomorrow because when it gets to be a certain temperature in their school district, the school buses don't start. Does that sound vaguely familiar to you? What are they, electric? um, and of course, when there's snow on the ground, yeah, it is cold down there, right? I was looking at various temperatures. Of course, it's nice and warm in Port St. Lucie. Going to be in the 70s during the day, and it was about 64 when I asked Alexa on the TV, on the Fire Stick. And Walterboro, South Carolina, which I visited last February, was getting down to the lower 50s, but it'll be in the 60s. It's interesting that various parts of South Carolina are considerably warmer than other parts of the state. Linda Flanagan, 16 here in Texas. Yeah, that was amazing, right? As I say, my kids live in Texas, kind of the Round Rock, Austin area or outside of it. And that's really unusual, right? But I bet you, I don't know, I haven't looked at your extended forecast, Linda, but I I wouldn't be surprised that if before the week is out, you'll be able to wear shorts again in Texas because that's usually how it goes, right? You'll be like 65 degrees sometime this week. And I know it was a hot, hot summer in Texas, well over 100 degrees, many days in Texas. As much as I love the state of Florida, for example, I don't really want to be there in July and August. I don't want to be there for hurricane season necessarily. And now they're dealing with tornadoes in Florida. Still, they had a considerable amount of damage a while ago. It's 55 here in Fernandina, Beach, Florida. Something like that. I haven't heard of that place before. Rhonda Ledbetter joins us. Freezing and snow in the Mitten State. The Mitten State. Why do they call it the Mitten State? Hmm. So isn't this interesting? All women, too. We have 10 people watching right now. This is Off the Cuff Ramblings. Hello to the replay crowd. Please, you can comment here as well. Let us know what's on your mind. I'll be doing more of these impromptu broadcasts and the different times, seeing if we get different people and what have you. Um, I'll be doing more live broadcasting. I mean, I'm a radio guy. I used to do 6 overnights a week. I'd be in the studio at this big castle, a former state armory building just a mile up the road. I'd start my shift usually at 1 a.m. and go to 6 a.m. 5 nights a week. And then maybe on Sunday mornings, I would do a contemporary Christian music show. Amelia Island. There's something about Amelia. You remember that movie, Cheryl? It wasn't good what was about Amelia. There's something about Amelia. That was a long time ago. I love that name, Amelia. It's very pretty. Amelia Island. See, you guys are all making me jealous, you Florida people. Freezing and snow in the Mitten State, but Florida is doing pretty well. So Rhonda reminds me we're talking about Michigan. It's amazing that we hear from quite a few people in Michigan. Shaped like a, why is that heart in my way? How does that heart even get there? Shaped like a hand. Yeah, okay. See, I should know this, but then again, I've got a GED, so my information is limited. Kathleen Whataburger, Weinebacher. No, that's not right. Wiedenbacher. Orville Redenbacher. I'm not sure. Sure slept here on, there's that heart again in my way. I don't know how to get rid of that thing. Um, Except here on the North Shore of NO. NOLA, 29 degrees. 29 degrees. Oh, sleet, not slept. I got you. Sleet. Yes, yes, yes. Well, you gather that up and make yourself a snow cone, for goodness sake, if you have some flavoring. Um, yeah, this is the time of year where my heart aches for the state of Florida. 13 people watching right now, 14 likes. Yes, please like if you like. Not that we're doing anything spectacular. I have a few notes in front of me. Going to talk about the big Trump win and going to talk about your newest resident of state of Florida people, Sean Hannity. He's not living like in an apartment in Jacksonville. You can probably figure that out, right? But we'll talk about his new digs, and he's going to do all his broadcasting from the state of Florida now. He finally said goodbye to Governor Hochul and the state of New York. He's been wanting to leave this state for years. Um, but we're at like 22 degrees, and as I say, a little light snow. The road is snow covered, and it's my heart yearns to be elsewhere. But often when you get to some other place, there's still the same issues going on in your head. It was the late great Harry Chapin in a song about a radio DJ. So of course I related to it. I was on from 77 to 2011, on and off, but a lot of years I was on there. Even if it was part-time, I was I was doing a lot of part-time, it seems. He says, you can travel on 10,000 miles and still stay where you are. He was a great storyteller. And since I'm known as the storyteller here on YouTube sometimes, um, I guess I can relate. Harry Chapin died on the Long Island Expressway, I think in his little Porsche. Had a crash on the Long Island Expressway, as I remember. Yes, Rhonda, Trump did win, didn't he? He won decisively 99 counties in Iowa, where with the wind chill, it felt like 20 below. Oh, wow. And these are all great American people there, that love their country. Um, and Trump got over 51% of the vote as I speak to you. It's just about all totaled up. And the governor of Florida came in second, beating out Nikki Haley. I was really happy to see that happen. It wasn't by a wide margin, but he did win. He's worked so hard and he's done such a great job for the state of Florida. Would you Floridians agree? I don't know if you're originally from Florida. We've got so many people that moved there, but some of them don't want to lose their governor, and I could totally understand that. Probably won't unless the evildoers uh, make it so Trump can't run. They get him off the ballot one way or another. I mean, can you imagine a man who has numerous indictments, being the by far and away the leading candidate for uh, for the presidency, but he's got so much going for him in the sense that he's got this star power charisma, and as one of the commentators said on Fox News, I was just watching Trace Gallagher after Brett and Martha called it a night. And he was saying, could it be that Donald Trump wants to win the presidency so bad that he's willing to become a disciplined person and not say the first thing that comes to his mind? When he was on the town hall last week, the voters in the audience, especially the undecided ones, wanted to know, are you going to be all about retribution in your second term? Are you going to be about retribution? And he said, I'm not going to have time for retribution. Oh, what a great Trump moment. I'm not going to have time for retribution. I'm going to be too busy, essentially getting this country back on track and making America great again. I'm not going to have time for retribution. That was wonderful to hear, because a lot of people like Trump, but they don't want the circus that goes with it. But there will be a circus because, we have progressives here in America now that don't love America. Most of them are pretty soulless. They don't know what they're doing. They're filled with hate. They're looking for a free ticket, free meal, and free everything. And they they will have a lot of tricks up their sleeve too. One of the tricks that they were using uh, tonight in Iowa is that in Iowa you can change your a party affiliation right up to the last moment. In other words, you can walk into the voting station and as a Democrat and you can say, I want to change to the Republican Party. And what they were trying to do was take the thunder away from Donald Trump. And they figure if they were ever going to vote in the current lineup of candidates, if they were ever going to vote for a Republican, they would probably go with Nikki Haley. They think that she's the most moderate, you know. They think that she would be their friend if they had to vote Republican, which they never would because they're just going to switch back to the Democratic Party later on for the general. But they switched and voted for Nikki Haley, and it still wasn't enough. Not in Iowa, it wasn't. Not in Iowa because it's such a um, strong base of people that love this country. It's got some blue spots. It's got some Democratic, more middle of the road, certainly Republicans at the very least, or liberal Republicans in some parts of the state. But um, what they would do is switch their party affiliation to Republican and then vote for Nikki Haley, but it still wasn't enough. She came in third, closely behind Ron DeSantis. But Ron DeSantis put in so much hard work and what have you. I was really happy to see him get second place. But what does that mean? The only way it could mean anything for Ron DeSantis, because he has a later today, he'll be in South Carolina for his first, I don't know if it's his first, but he'll be there for a campaign rally. And then he'll start focusing on New Hampshire, where Nikki Haley feels she has an advantage. But, they're only fighting for second place. I mean, look at the difference. I mean, Trump has a strong lead in Nikki Haley's home state of South Carolina, a state I lived in for almost 2 years. I lived in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's funny because we have a Rock Hill, New York, that is about, I don't know, 15 miles from me. It's on the way to Monticello, New York. There's a casino in the area. And so Trump is leading even in South Carolina. And I think that will continue. Hello, Josh. How are you? Jack, good morning. Not sure how the live chat works. Well, you're doing just fine because you typed in your greeting. Yeah, it's just like texting. I guess it is. Thank you, Susie in Florida. Susie in Florida. Is Susie here? We have so many Susies at this channel. Susans, Susies. There's Susie Q. That's Susie Young. Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q. Susie Q. I love you. CCR. You guys remember that? How old are you, Josh? Are you a youngster? When you start calling young people youngster, you have officially become an oldster, right? I don't use the word youngster, but I notice people in their 70s and 80s say the word youngster. It's I'm not ready for that. So I've already learned from Rhonda that Michigan is shaped like a hand. You would think I would have known that already, but I left school in ninth grade. The day I turned 16, my mother accompanied me, and I quit school. And I hadn't been there that much in ninth grade. They were thinking of still, um, making me, I don't know, go to some reform school or something for a little bit. But I told my guidance counselor, I think, I can't remember his name. I can almost picture his face. I want to say Mr. Sweeney. I told Mr. Sweeney that, I was going to get a job right away and then go into broadcasting school. I wanted to be a disc jockey. And I talked my way out of any future problems, and I was able to leave the school that day. And, you know, uh, before you know it, I had two jobs. I was working at McDonald's 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And then I would cross the street, go to the mall, which was there, the Orange Plaza Mall, for a little while. And then at 6 p.m., I would work the Plaza Theater wasn't connected to the mall. It was a little bit to one side of the parking lot. It's now KFC there, but I would go there and work from 6 to 10 because I had to get my first car, which was a '66 powder blue Plymouth Valiant standard with a shift in the column. What a great little car that was. Oh, what a thrill to have that car. So I was driving at 16. Yeah, Judy Wright. Hey, Night Owls. How are you, Judy? Um, did you hear your notification bell go on? I didn't wake anybody, did I, with a notification bell because you had your phone up? I'd feel bad. That could happen, though, couldn't it? Freezing and snow in the Mitten State, yeah. And just light snow here, snow-covered roads. Um, are you saying today, Rhonda, is your 65th birthday? Yeah. Happy birthday. Gonna get cranky. I've heard the Hugh Grant use that word. Are you a Hugh Grant fan? I used to joke on the radio. I'd say, okay, I'll admit it. I love both Barry Manilow and Hugh Grant. Does this mean I have to turn in my man card? Insomnia. Oh, well, you know what you do. You take a little Xanax. You ask the doctor, you hook up your medical doctor will give it to you at first, but then they'll want you to go see, somebody, some kind of therapist who can dispense medication. It's got to be one of those. If they can't dispense medication, forget it. Then you take like a quarter or a half gram of Xanax. I only take a half gram every night. I haven't gone on to 2 grams or something. They wouldn't want me to, but it just what you're trying to do is you're trying to calm, especially if you're a creative person. You're trying to calm the your mind. You're trying to relax and just feel peaceful. And of course, praying before all this is a good thing. Now, what do people do when they lay down for the night? Some pray. Maybe they pray kneeling. That's great. And we're all adults here. We know what the other thing is, especially if you're a guy, right, Josh? Just fess up. I didn't expect to go there, but I was I was watching somebody here on YouTube, and he was talking about that. So happy birthday, Rhonda! Happy birthday! Yes, yes, yes. Many, many more. I remember being 65. Wish I were 65 again. It was only a couple of years ago, but I still would like to go back in time. Gonna go back in time. That's great. Look at that. 15 people and 8 likes. Please like if you like and subscribe. I promise I won't talk anymore about possible late night rituals. Um, So it was very interesting. Trump was very gracious during his acceptance of his victory speech for Iowa. He's worked so hard, and between this and going to court cases and stuff like that. Doug Berman, former challenger, remember he was running for president not that long ago. He was on the debate stage when there was like 14 candidates at first. he governor of North Dakota was out there all smiles. He came out and he's looking for a job, and Trump pretty much promised him one in the cabinet from the stage tonight if he should become the 47th president of the United States, like he was the 45th um, um, president. And most of you would know by now that after coming in fourth tonight, Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out of the race. It's a three-person race now. Vivek said he's all in for Trump now. He called President Trump, and Vivek had nice things to say about him. No doubt there's going to be a spot for Vivek Ramaswamy in the Trump administration if he gets elected, and there should be. He's a very bright, intelligent man. Trump already says he has his VP pick, and we talked about that on Saturday night show, Worldwide Ramblings. Um, Josh says, Jack, I'm a bit speechless right now. It's 1:18 here in Florida. Well, same here. We're in the same time zone. I'm a little bit in the twilight zone sometimes, and, you know, have been told I need a checkup from the neck up. Um, May all be going good with you and your loved ones. Well, I do miss my kids who are like 37 and 35 in Texas, and I got to get out there in the spring to see them. My son is an 18-wheeler driver. He's sleeping right now in the truck, I believe. Uh, he delivers to retail stores, which pays good money for someone who's got less than 2 years experience now. But you have to put up a lot of stuff. You really do. And I have a granddaughter. My daughter had a beautiful baby girl. So I really need to get out there, but I pray for them all the time and miss them. I would really like to leave New York, but it's not easy to do when you have a partner who doesn't want to leave New York and relies on you. And I love her, I love her, and I don't want to tear her world apart. But, for 13 years, now starting the 14th year, I've been living here, and I don't like the cold weather. I've had enough of the Hudson Valley and would like to go elsewhere, So, the best I can do is travel to some of the places I would like to go. Sometimes we travel together, usually, hopefully. And that can work out well, too, because you don't want to be in Florida when there's a hurricane coming or in the hot summer. We both love Maine, and we go up there almost every summer. Um, that's under attack now from the progressives. They're going to try to ruin Maine. The Y and the Z generation are going to try to ruin Maine. I'll talk about that in a little bit. If I don't forget, you can always remind me. Good to hear from you too, Pamela Sloan. Yes, it is. This is an off the cuff ramblings. Hello, replay crowd. Please subscribe and like if you haven't already. And so, yeah, just to wrap up the Trump thing, I got a few notes in front of me. It was a good speech. It was very disciplined, just like when he did the town hall. He's been especially disciplined lately. He's not so disciplined when he comes out of a courtroom, but you know, uh, it's gotta really suck. Now in Atlanta, the district attorney, Fanny, Fanny. It's Fawny. She likes to call herself Fawny, but every Republican calls her Fanny. She gave a job to her inexperienced lawyer lover, and of course she plays the race card right away. Oh, I hired two other lawyers, and she says this from a church pulpit on Sunday, that AME Baptist Church doesn't feel like much of a church to me, and it certainly wasn't honoring to the late great Martin Luther King. This is not a place to make your. I mean, this is a woman who supposedly has had this lover lawyer for a long time. He's not that experienced, never tried a case anywhere near this big, and they have taken all kinds of expensive trips and what have you. And I don't know how much, if these were business trips, what that means. I don't know. I don't know, but there's people that even are on the liberal side that are saying, that a lot of it is very inappropriate and she should recuse herself. Well, of course, she starts screaming the R word from the pulpit of this church, claiming racism, racism, racism. As I've said before, when someone yells the word racist, 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 they are the real racist. 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10. You just have to look. I mean, what's his name there? The senator that basically got Joe Biden elected. I hate when I can't forget a name that I already know. With the glasses, the old man, the old black man with the glasses that is so pro Joe Biden, not really pro Joe Biden, just, you know, doesn't want Trump, of course. Let me have a sip of water. Me mouth's going dry. Me mouth's going dry. 20 people at 1:25 in the morning East Coast time. If you're watching live, hello, Mike in London. If you're watching, Michael from London, England, he may very well be watching because he seems to be right on the ball. And even Shelley, the campaign manager for Donald Trump, but in the country of Canada. How you doing? And how you doing? You're happy, right? Your Trump man did very, very well in Iowa. And now on to New Hampshire. He will win there as well. It may be a little closer because Nikki Haley, there's a lot of, uh, liberal Republicans and what have you, and she seems to appeal to them. But yeah, he did a very impressive thing. 99 counties Trump won in the state of Iowa. How can that state have so many counties? 99 in Iowa? Oh my goodness, 20 below zero with the wind chill. But it was really cool. And Nikki Haley, she starts her speech by congratulating Trump, but then just rips into him. And, she's all about just winning. She's just all about winning. Um, as Governor Kristi Noem from South Dakota says, "Oh yeah, I know Nikki Haley, but I never know which one is going to show up. There's so many different sides of Nikki Haley. She's like you've heard of Plastic Man. I would say she's Plastic Woman. She's Plastic Woman. One time she's a hard ass, and she's gonna go to war with China, and she's not smart enough to know you can't win a war with Vladimir Putin." More and more people are realizing we have just wasted $200 billion plus of your money, $200 billion in the Ukraine, and we don't have the money to give them anymore. And all over what? The fact that Hunter Biden was on the payroll in the Ukraine, and this is payback. He's a little dictator. He put his opponent in jail. He closed the biggest Christian church denomination that people loved in the Ukraine because he didn't agree with it. And there were a lot of Nazis in the state. Now I'm not for Vladimir Putin, but wasn't it nice when Trump was in office? They had a good relationship. He could handle Putin, and Putin kind of enamored Trump. And there was no Russia collusion, which Nadler and Shifty Adam Schiff and his Schiff show propagated. Is that the right word? Propagated. All nonsense. Uh, and Trump got along with Xi in China. There would be there would have been no Ukrainian invasion. All that horror show would have never happened if Trump had been reelected. And I'm aware of all the flaws of Trump, but he does seem to be, he's learned a little bit, and He did a lot of great things for America. I know you agree. He is a brave man to go through all he's gone through. You're right. You're right. I still love Ron DeSantis and wish, at the very least, he would pick him to be the VP candidate. Um, yeah, I now know what you mean when you say Big Mike is going to run. She's talking about Michelle Obama. And how that would happen is at the Democratic convention, Joe Biden would suddenly announce, I've thought about it. And I'm not really ready to do another 4 years. And I know that you would rather have Bozo the Clown than Kamala Harris. So I'm going to say release the delegates. And that's when Michelle Obama is going to step in. And then there's going to be a boxing match between Michelle Obama and Gavin Newsom. And my money's on Michelle Obama. Yeah, you're right. It's almost like if it were Oprah running. She's got a lot of appeal. A lot of appeal. Big Mike. That would mean that was not her daughters. That's not her daughters. Is that what you're saying? Or maybe it is her daughters, but there was a surrogate involved here somewhere. I'm just pontificating and joshing with you. Pamela Sloan, Trump does not owe Putin. No, he does not owe Putin. You didn't mean own, right? He does not owe Putin, but Putin respected him. I think Putin kind of wants to be the Donald Trump of Russia. He wants his name on buildings and stuff, which he could definitely put right now if he wanted to. He could also he could finish off the Ukraine if he wanted to as well. Shell says, not her kids. Did you do a DNA test? Oh boy. So yeah, it was some pretty good theater tonight, and now on to New Hampshire. I don't know how things are going to go. All these trials that they are trying to rush through are taking longer. See, I took off my sweatshirt, and now, since I've covered up the heat vent, because we have this thing called gravity heat, I also have a space heater, which I don't have on because I have to back it up. That's another thing about living here. The heat is downstairs, and you have these open vents, which takes away your privacy with the guy who lives downstairs a little bit. I cover it up, of course, when it's not heating season. And so now I'm feeling chilly. But that's okay. I'll suffer through it. Already we've been speaking for 37 minutes here in the middle of the night. This will be, relatively short. I'm not going to go on too long, but so things are looking rosy in Trump world, and Shelly is real happy about it. Hannity has moved into a $53 million home in Palm Beach, Florida, but it's a townhouse. It's a townhouse on many acres of land, though. It's right by the water. It's right by the waters, and there's security and all that. And he has done some renovations. He bought it in 2021. I think since then he's been through a divorce, right? So the wife that he had, he doesn't have anymore. I think that's right. And it is right around the corner from Billionaires Row in Palm Beach, Florida. He's not a billionaire, Sean Hannity, but he has many millions of dollars, that's for sure. And he's going to do both his radio show. It is, I guess, now doing his radio show and his television show. I mean, when you have a nice room in a home, you can make it look like you're at the Fox studios. It's all fake in the background. It's all virtual reality or whatever. No more live studio audiences, though, on Hannity. He's not going to invite them into his home, so that's over with. But I don't know about guests in the studio either. I think they're all going to be on, Zoom or that other thing, that WebEx or whatever they call it. And so it does limit you, Now he will have studio guests when he has house guests that are famous, that would be one time. 11 degrees. Yeah, it's cold here. Not as quite as cold as you yet, but tomorrow, Shelley, it will be about 11 degrees here. So you're sending it your way, and I'd like to be sending my way up Route 84 to Route 81 to Route 77 down into the warm zone. But I'm not ready to do that right now. A lot of people from Florida, a lot of people in Michigan or from Michigan, as in the case of Josh. Uh, Dana Storm, or unless you go by Dana, like Dana Bash, she hates it when people come on there and call her Dana. I don't watch much of the Communist News Network anymore. They did not cover the Trump acceptance speech in Iowa, the victory speech. That's not a news organization anymore. Who the hell is running that? You like I just quickly tuned over there, and there's Tappy Phillip, who I used to love, and Maharaju. He's a good reporter, but who the heck wants to hear them? And they're trying to do anything they can to play down. They're supposed to be professional news people. There's a major news event going on right now, speeches in Florida, and you won't cover it. And you have the gall to call yourself the most trusted name in news. You're shite. You're pure shite. All of you, and that includes you, Wolf Blitzer and Anderson, all the people that won't speak up. Tapper, there's some hope for you, but not much. All of you people on that network, whether it be during the day or the night, you all are sellouts, and your ratings show it. Your ratings show it. Um, Oh, here goes Shelley talking about Miami. The last time we talked about Miami, Shelley, you were talking about giants at the shopping mall. Let's see what you're saying this time. I'm not even going to read it. Well, a lot of malls are having trouble. I wouldn't think Miami would be that bad. Um, I don't know that the economy is that bad in Miami either. So I don't know. I don't know. Be careful what you watch, and don't always accept it as truth. If they tell you tomorrow that Dr. Phil is in the Illuminati, that doesn't necessarily mean that he is. I don't know. But a lot of malls. I think they were saying something like another 30% of our malls are going to go away because people are buying on Amazon. Do you buy on Amazon? Do you have packages at your door? Well, you're not going to the mall then. You're going there. Around Christmas time, sure, people still like to come out and touch and feel the gifts, and they're doing last minute, and they're afraid it won't come in the mail in time. So in December, the malls do okay, the food courts. But yeah, isn't it sad? I love going to the mall. In fact, I think I'm going to start walking in the mall because I can't walk outside in 11 degrees. So I'm going to start walking at the mall because I have cardiomyopathy. And I'll be going down to Westchester on the 26th for once a month cardiac sonogram. And I'm on this really cool, expensive drug called mavacamten. I have mavacamten, which if I didn't have health insurance would cost me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But, those 19 years working for the city of New York and not having to do it in the city, but outside the city, got me good retirement benefits. So a lot of cities going down the toilet in the last 3 years, Dana. Absolutely. Where are you from? What state are you from? Yeah. Uh, there has been so much destruction, worst president in my lifetime. Now, if you don't agree and you're a progressive and you happen to come in here, you're welcome too. Don't get me wrong. We're not here to say we don't want your kind here, that kind of thing. I'm just saying that Trump said that tonight. He's the worst president ever, and I am in total agreement. And I have a few videos up here that talk about that. Lots of topics here. Please check out the full list of videos here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned, and you'll see what the most popular topic is. Maybe you'll enjoy those videos, and enjoy yourself. I hope you will. We're enjoying uh, the biggest success we've ever had since I've been doing this channel. We've been doing live shows now for over a year. And our biggest one, I said our biggest one was 4,800, but it's like 9,200. And the biggest video up that I have is called The Verdict, and it's 101,000 plus hits, views. So you can check out the full list just by scrolling the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. Happy for Trump. And Vivek did the right thing. Yes, he did, to give Trump his full support. Vivek didn't become a billionaire at his age by being stupid. He, as Bob Dylan once sang, you don't need a weatherman to see which way the wind blows. True, true, true. So Vivek will probably be in the administration. I don't think he'll be the VP pick, but I'm not 100% on that. I'm not 100%. He could be. He could be. And Doug Burgum, the governor of North Dakota, I think he secured himself a spot by being Trump friendly all of a sudden. And I wouldn't know, Shell, the answer to your question. I wouldn't know. And I think you saw my video, my most recent video. I'm taking a break from the topic, because if memories are all I sang, I'd rather drive a truck. um, God knows I have like 14 or 15 videos up on the topic. Some of them will start to come down, but I'm not taking them all down. That's not the plan. So if someone is coming here because they want a fix on that topic, I'm afraid I'm gonna leave you. I'm going to leave you unfulfilled. I'll find out whether you really love me at all. Oh, we love when you talk about other stuff, Jack. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's those magic words. If I don't put them in the title, but I've got to find other wild topics, which is why I'm announcing my new 3-part series on necrophilia. Just for the heck of it, I typed in necrophilia in the search bar here on YouTube, and there's a bunch of videos. There's a bunch of videos on necrophilia. So maybe I can't, they've already cornered the market. Now, if someone wanted to I'm going to start doing Zoom interviews really soon. I'm going to need to. If someone was a bona fide necrophiliac and they wanted to come on and talk about it split screen, I probably would do it, because I'd be curious to see what this person was about. Might have to put a warning on that one. Judy Wright, maybe BJ. Oh, BJ Thomas, yes, will be an ambassador, you think? No. No, I don't. But hey, I'm still going to cover major breaking news on that topic that you referred to, Judy and Shelley. So if there is major breaking news, as the chronological storyteller, I will tell it. I will tell it. All right. He certainly did some breaking news, some that he couldn't really help, I think, in 2023. So we'll see if BJ creates major breaking news, but I'm not going to be looking to label something that when it's not, when it's not. Little incidents, no. I have told the story. Don't want to beat a dead horse, and I don't want to beat a living horse. Sure, put your face out there and do it, Jack. We'll hide in the corner. I don't like that too much. um, Lots of people living in tents, Shell says, huh? In some cities, San Francisco, for example, maybe gets cold in San Francisco though, right? I didn't check the temperature, but I mean in the wintertime it gets a little chilly in San Francisco. It's cold in the evening in Los Angeles, especially in the winter. It gets very chilly. And those people put on, heavy coats. They're not used to it. But I lived in Hollywood, California for a year, and I know in the winter you'd want to have a light jacket on, something like that, because it did get chilly. And when it did rain, especially if it wasn't February, because that's when it rains the most in Southern California, if it did rain unexpectedly, people would be thrilled. They'd be clapping in the streets because they just loved the fact that there was some rain in a drought stricken area where they're always worried about running out of water completely. Yeah. Well, we got 17 watching here in the middle of the night, and we're almost up to an hour. What else did I write down here? We talked about Sean Hannity is broadcasting now from his new $53 million home in Palm Beach. Don Lemon is coming to X, former Communist News Network anchor who deserved to get fired from CNN. Uh, he was warned like 3 times not to be rude to people that didn't share his progressive ideas, and he couldn't seem to do that. Uh, he's going to be doing a show on X. I won't be watching. I used to like Don Lemon, but again, the effect of Joe Biden coming in just all the credibility, all the rules of journalism were thrown away, and the hatred for Trump that they have allowed them to become complete sellouts. Um, yes, that's Maureen McCormick back there, who's 67 years old. But I'm going to show you Karen, my partner. Don't worry, that Marsha, right back there. And yeah, born in 1956, just like me, just like me. What year were you born, huh? 15 people watching now, so they're going to miss the picture, those few people. Hello, Replay Cloud. When I played the Rolling Stones, Get Off of My Cloud, on the radio, I would occasionally say, Rolling Stones, get off of my cloud. I hate a crowd on my cloud. Yeah. This is, I tell Karen, enough time in this house, because here she is as a little child on a fake horsey with a beautiful collie. This is kind of faded, this one. And she's in the very backyard that's right here that I have broadcasts from. Let's see here. Yes. Someone will say, I can't see it. The glare. I can't see a thing that you've done. Haha. Christopher Knight, who's the richest member of the Brady Bunch, he's worth about $5 million or so. He's a businessman, entrepreneur, has a line of furniture, which I think you can find Christopher Knight Furnishings on Amazon, I want to say. Here's Christopher with Maureen McCormick. Two very good-looking people. Of course, that goes back in time. He's about 65 as well right now. She's 67. He was the middle child, right? So he was. I'm just showing random pictures here. One of our favorite bands, the Psychedelic Furs. The man with the right here, Mars, passed away a few months ago. One of the most incredible saxophone players that ever hit the stage. He knew he had cancer, and he decided to do the final tour. He said, I want to go out doing what I love, and that's exactly what happened. They finished the tour, and about a month or two later, he passed away. So Richard Butler and Tim Butler front the Psychedelic Furs. The man over here, it's hard to, right here is Rich Good, who lives out in California, has a shop out there, some kind of artsy shop. And he's a great guitarist for the Psychedelic Furs. The drummer is the guy with the wild hair. And Tim Butler also has sunglasses on. The one in the middle is Richard Butler, who sings those great songs for the psychedelic furs. I'm just showing random pictures now. Peter, that's right, Peter Brady, Christopher Knight. I always thought he would be the best choice to be with um, Maureen McCormick in my Warped. Here's the late great. Any Dark Shadows fans out there? You'll know who this is. The late great Joan Bennett, who died in 1990. She was even in a silent film before she started doing talkies, and did a lot of films that you can find. If you go to Tubi and type in Joan Bennett, you'll find some Joan Bennett movies. Sometimes she had blonde hair, sometimes she had dark hair. And she passed away in 1990. Dark Shadows ended in 1971. Next to her is also, unfortunately, the late Denise Nickerson, who died in 2019. She had had a stroke and had some hard years. Her parents stole all her money from acting because after Dark Shadows, she went on to play the Blueberry in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder. She was the Blueberry. And she did a film with Lee Grant, which you can find right here on YouTube, and a couple of other films with Davin, whatever his name is. No, Darren McGavin, right? So that is Denise Nickerson, and she was a wonderful actress from the start. I always say this is Karen's mugshot because it looks like that. She doesn't even remember when this was taken, but this is when she was young. And there's Karen's mugshot, I say. Always a ginger, always a ginger. Sir Paul McCartney right here. Sir Paul McCartney. Just showing random pictures. Any more Dark Shadows fans, you'll know this one. That's Lara Parker, who did a lot of things after Dark Shadows. She was in the movie Save the Tiger with Jack Lemmon, but her biggest role was playing Angelique in Dark Shadows. Well, here's Hearts Wild. I've missed you, Hearts Wild. I thought you abandoned me forever. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I come on here late because I think maybe Hearts Wild will come on. That's Lara Parker, just a few months before she passed away in California at the age of 84 years old of cancer. Me when I was a young boy with blonde hair. And Karen and I waiting to see either Tom Jones or the Psychedelic Furs at Foxwoods. I'm guessing, yeah, it was the Psychedelic Furs with the group Squeeze. You know, Squeeze. Tempted by the fruit of another. Or Black Coffee in Bed was another one of their big hits. There we are waiting for the show to begin. We got there early in Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. There we are at the Otisville Fair, I'm going to say. This is years ago. Maybe 2012, 2011. I don't know. The great Molly B. She does the polka. She does all kinds of country. She sings Ave Maria so beautifully. Molly B and Squeezebox. She usually performs with her husband, Ted Lang, and they will be at the Jimmy Sturr Polka Weekend. The Jimmy Sturr Polka Weekend at Villa Roma in April. Karen and I should be there as well. And you can go too. Just go to Jimmy Sturr, STURR.com, and reserve. Be about over $800 for a couple. You get 2 nights lodging, 5 gourmet meals, pizza party, open bar twice, 3 or 4 different bands. They don't just do polka. And it's just 2 days of bliss. Oh, the food is incredible. I always gain like 5 pounds, you know. You have your choice. And Bloody Marys and screwdrivers and the fountains all the time. Sigrid Schultz. Here's a pictures of Sigrid Schultz, both young and old. She was in Germany in 1958, but she is not to be confused with somebody else. All my regular viewers will know that. Someone was saying that Sigrid Schultz was somebody else, but no, there she is right there. Okay. And we have from Dark Shadows, we have Catherine Lee Scott, we have Alexandra Molka, Nancy Barrett, and now the late uh, Lara Parker wearing blue at the end. Everyone's alive except for Lara now. Nancy Barrett, who's got the blonde hair, light blonde hair, is 82 years old now. Alexandra Mocha Isles is wearing red, who left Dark Shadows at the end of 1968, is 76 years old. Catherine Lee Scott on the end. Good stuff. I'm almost done, I promise. 20 people watching. Maybe you like pictures. This is our feral cat Buddy, who we feed all the time. There's a place for him to sleep under the porch in what was a dog igloo. It's got straw and a blanket in there, but he won't come inside. And if we trap him, first of all, we can't afford all the vet stuff he potentially would need. The couple next door would do it, but then they would put him in solitary confinement in their house for the rest of his life. We would let him come and go, but he doesn't know that. I've practically begged Buddy to come in, but he won't do it. So he lives in a barn behind us. Here's a montage with Karen and me and her friend Grace in the middle with the blonde hair. And also Rich Good from the Psychedelic Furs, the black and white shot with Karen. She was so thrilled when she looked behind her after the Psychedelic Furs had performed, and Rich Good was behind her watching Squeeze perform. And he was so nice and gracious, and I snapped that picture. So there you go. Pictures. I think that's everything I had on my list. Oh, well, the Tucker Carlson Network is going well, and some of the videos make it here to YouTube. You can get the TCN Tucker Carlson Network for like $6 a month, and he has a lot of great interviews on there, and not as much of his regular format that I would like that I've seen so far. But he has great interviews. Dennis Quaid was on there talking about how the power grid here in the United States could go down. You'll want to see that. It's an important interview with Dennis Quaid, of all people, who knows all about it. Great interview with Glenn Greenwald on there and other people as well. Tucker is, I think these days he's broadcasting out of his Florida home because Maine, it's too cold in Maine now. It's just too cold. So what's up with you, Hearts Wild? I keep missing your lives. Happy you're on late. Yeah. Here's someone new as well. More like a mitten. More like a mitten. Okay. Jack, what state are you in? I'm in a state of confusion. I wish I was in Florida. I've been there a number of times, but I'm stuck here in New York. Last year in February, I went down to Walterboro, South Carolina, and then went on to Port St. Lucie, Florida, where I saw Jimmy Sturr, the Polka King, in Port St. Lucie the first weekend in March. He's going to do this again, but this year, before he comes to Port St. Lucie, he'll be in St. Petersburg. Jimmy Sturr is someone I first saw when I was 14. He's in his early 80s now. And he's won 18 Grammy Awards, and he'll have one of the members of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra with him, Chris Caffrey, who lives 7 miles up the road. He's finished with his Christmas tour with TSO, and it's a great show, the Jimmy Sturr Show, if you ever get a chance to see it. Hearts Wild, I'm up late because I watch streamers out in California. They chase the cops. You love it, huh? Talking about a cat. Someone dropped a cat at my house. It's only a year old, I think. Yeah, people do that. If they think, if they don't want to deal with the cat, if they don't want the cat, they'll put it somewhere where they think it's got a shot. Robbie Turner. Hello, Robbie. Have I heard from you before? I don't think so. Do you think it was the weather? Did it have to do more with the anniversary of Lisa Marie's death? While Household of Faith didn't have a church Sunday service? I don't know. I just know that um, bad weather was certainly moving into many states, and Arkansas was one of them. It was one of them. Um, I guess I'll answer this. Um, According to the church website, uh, international visitors come to Household of Faith every week. And the problem is by the time the church announces that they're not going to hold service, uh, many of the international visitors would have already flown in and could be in Benton. And now they're learning they're not going to uh, go to church on Sunday there. That's the problem with that. So, other than that, I would just be speculating, and I'm kind of taking a break from that topic unless there's major breaking news. That's the plan. Um, I'm taking a break. I live in the county. I live in the country. You live out in the country? Reminds me of the Three Dog Night song. You're feeding it. Okay, good. You know, I hate to think of animals being hungry. We feed raccoons here. We feed deer. I mean, how many raccoons do you know that could say they've had a little bit of blueberry pancakes and sausage with syrup on it? I mean, how many raccoons? Ask around. You never know which raccoon it is because they always wear a mask. They always wear a mask. Check out the interview. Okay, you're talking about that. I won't be checking it out, but for the other people, you may want to check out what Hearts Wild is talking about. Okay, you have spoken. Yeah, I wasn't sure. The name Turner did strike um, a, a bell or some kind of something in my cerebellum or my medulla told me that maybe I have heard from Robbie Turner before. I um, I have it on a computer file right about here, I think, in North Carolina. Yes, I spent some time in North Carolina, living in Rock Hill, South Carolina. North Carolina was just a hop, skip, and a jump, and my second wife and I did fairs and festivals and did a few gigs in North Carolina, in the parking lot of that racetrack there in Gastonia, whatever. I remember that gig. I enjoyed that day. And we did a few things in North Carolina, a few things in South Carolina, a few things in Maine, a gig in New York, um, 3, 4 gigs in the state of Florida in the winter. Loved it. I mean, I can stay at a Motel 6 for a month and I'm fine with it. We were right next to Cracker Barrel, and Cracker Barrel is going out now, just like TGI Friday, right? Our TGI Friday here in the town of Walk Hill, which is next door, that closed. Texas Roadhouse has claimed so many victims. I mean, you pass Texas Roadhouse on a Monday, and I have been there a few times. You're always going to wait, it seems. And every car in the parking lot, every space is taken. Texas Roadhouse is just like it's almost like a religion now. Raccoons love chicken wieners, huh? Do they love Anthony Weiner? Anthony Weiner, you all know who Anthony Weiner is, right? He has made his comeback on as a talk show host, and he's damn good. You know, he was very versed as a congressman. He knew his stuff, and they don't have many liberal hosts on WABC Radio, WABCRadio.com. If you want to hear Anthony Weiner, he's on Saturday afternoons from like 2 to 5. Um, And sometimes he does a left versus right with either Curtis Sliwa, Guardian Angels, or the owner of WABC, John Catsimatidis, who's tried to buy CNN. If John Catsimatidis bought CNN, it would become a completely different network. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. Raccoons will eat just about anything, though. Certain things they don't like we had a little bit of leftover chicken and dumplings, and they just pushed the dumpling on the floor. So there's a couple. Oh, they don't like broccoli or something like that. They don't like that. They don't want to eat their vegetables. Uh, yeah, raccoons. Some people say they sleep in the winter. Well, we're keeping them awake. Yeah, mom had 3 babies. They love the outdoor cat food. Exactly. They come here and eat the cat food. That's what they eat half the time. Other times we give them other stuff. But yeah, mom was pregnant, and all of a sudden one day, like in August, she just brought them all over. This is where you're going to eat. This is where you're going to find food. But then again, after a while, mom would get possessive of the food and shoo them away. We saw mom chasing one of her babies, well, no longer a baby, around the yard at lightning speed. But it was like, okay, she had her babies, and I look by my car in the driveway, and they're all looking at me. There's like 4 of them and mom, and it's like she's so proud. Mom, see what? These are my kids. It's really cool. It's really cool. Raccoons can be very funny too, very funny, and not usually vicious. Not usually vicious. So we had 2 or 3 feral cats. Now it just seems to be Buddy. We have a bunch of deer. We get apples and stuff like that. You can go to the tractor place and get a bag of sweet feed for them in the winter. That's always a good idea. I hate to see a starving animal. I hate to see a starving person. I try to help out when I can. So, yeah, the animals know where to get the food. But Buddy the cat, who I showed you, um, this is not the only place this cat gets fed. He goes to the gay couple next door, and they have high end food they feed him, high end cat food. Um, we go Friskies or dry food, and the dry food can sometimes be Friskies too, and also some table scraps and things like that. Buddy will enjoy from time to time. Just a wonderful cat, but skittish, skittish. But not if I'm sitting out there in the yard in the summer. He'll come right by me and sit down, and I'll talk to him and I'll explain to him that there's going to be another winter coming. And he just looks at me, and then eventually he kind of yawns and looks the other way. This is how it was in my marriages. So yeah, watch TCN. You have to buy it, but a lot of the clips end up on YouTube. And I miss being at 8 o'clock, being able to tune into Tucker Carlson and hearing like his 15-minute monologue that he wrote. I miss that, but he does some of that, of course, on TCN, and I'm going to get that soon. So yeah, that's a story. Well, 1 hour and 12 minutes for an off the cuff ramblings. I'm so glad for everybody that dropped by, including you, Hearts Wild, and Shell, and Robbie, and Josh. Welcome, welcome. All of you in the replay crowd, please let us know where you're watching from. Subscribe and like. 17 watching at 2:05 in the morning, and I didn't talk about the topic I'm known for, the topic that's brought me over 500,000 views and 5,400 subscribers. Is there hope? Is there hope for me to take a break from that and still have an audience, or will I eventually end up in a small room talking to myself, and they'll be coming to take me away? They'll be coming to take me away. Rhonda Ledbetter, Judy Wright, Kathleen Whataburger, and Cheryl Everhart was the first, right? Linda Flanagan, Tammy Wright. Oh my goodness, what a surprise, huh? At this hour of the morning. It's now freezing in this room. I'm going to have to open up the door and open up the heat vent, and then eventually I'm going to have to you can see my pillows, my Mike Lindell Giza Dream Sheet pillowcases, And now I hear, because of all the lawsuits with the Dominion voting machines and stuff. Oh, look, Felice Cooper joins us. Hi, Felice. I'm going to listen to your music. I'm going to purpose it to do it. Go to Spotify and check out Felice Cooper's music. I'm going to write that down, Felice, so I don't forget, because I want to do that. You're nice enough to check out my work. I want to check out yours. Yeah. Wish I could play it on the air, but they will block it. They will block it. I don't have a music license, If they do let me get away with something, then the video can't be monetized, and I'm okay with that sometimes. Other times I definitely wouldn't be. Um, I heard about Mike, Jack. Which Mike is that? Is that the Mike who might be running for president at the last minute? Who's Mike? Felice. Yeah, Trump, good luck and good health and win the White House. I would agree with you, Felice. I love DeSantis. I have to admit, I would like DeSantis, and it would be so nice if they could bury the hatchet and Trump could, because they used to be close. Trump likes to brag how he was the man who uh, made it happen for Ron DeSantis in the Sunshine State. Helped get him elected. He pretty much says he got him elected in Florida, and I would love it. But then they'd call it the white boy ticket. No diversity there. The white boy ticket, and you definitely want to put a vice president in there that is totally qualified. We want to break the trend of putting someone in because of their skin color. I'm fine with somebody being black or Latino or Jamaican. If they were born in the United States of America, but somebody qualified that's not a progressive that's going to try to destroy the Constitution further and not deal with the border problem, the economy. Not We don't want anyone declaring a war against fossil fuels as Joe Biden did. Man has done so much destruction in the last 3 years, in my personal opinion. So thank you, everybody. Sorry you came on late, Felice, but watch the replay and call this off the cuff ramblings. We've been here for a little more than an hour and 15 minutes. Still 15 watching and 14 likes. And please subscribe and like if you haven't already. And we're going to do more of these. I'm encouraged. We're going to do more of these at various time slots, including here in the late night. I mean, I did all night radio for many years. And then I did all night pretending to be a peace officer at the homeless shelter owned by the city of New York for 19 years. And I would check out the late great Art Bell in the middle of the night with Coast to Coast AM in the 90s. This was, oh, how I miss Art Bell. Oh, how I miss Rush Limbaugh. Oh, how I miss seeing Tucker on Fox, but he's still around. You can find him. Just it takes a little more effort, TCN, you can subscribe to the TCN network, his live stream. Yes. So, I'm a night person too, Hearts Wild. I usually go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's coming up soon. But that means I don't get up to 10:30, 11 in the morning. And that's, especially in the summer, you feel like, wow, I'm missing beautiful summer mornings. I've got to alter this behavior. Thanks for the promo. Yes, check out Felice Cooper on Spotify. Check out her music and then report back, okay, in the comment section of this very video here. As we complete it now, it'll be immediately available for rebroadcast in the live section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Dissolution. Please check out all our other videos. If you're watching from another country, I'd like to know where. We hear from South Africa. We hear from Wales. Hello, Wales. My buddy from Wales, how are you? Mike and the number of people, including Paul from Australia, several people in South Africa, and we have even heard from Iceland, I believe, yeah, and other places. I always want to know about that because it's kind of cool, and let us know what you'd like us to talk about here on future off the cuff ramblings. Okay, what are your issues? What's life like where you live? Put it in the comments section, or send me an email, a more detailed email. Jack the Fair Guy. That's FAIR. Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much, everybody, to come on this hour and get a nice audience, and hopefully a nice replay audience means a lot to me. There's so many things for us to talk about in 2024, including these last days that we live in and all the political strife that's going on. But I'm all for also talking about offbeat topics, and we're gonna work towards getting some Zoom interviews. But I got to be honest with you, I can't just do normal stuff because they're not going to watch me doing political stuff per se. I've got to have offbeat people on that will garnish. It's all about getting clicks. You don't get the clicks, then you're going down in flames. Candace Owens talks about that. She says there are no friends in this business. Everybody's just trying to get clicks, because she was upset with some people that criticized some things that she had said, fellow broadcasters. All par for the course, though. All par for the course. I hear the plow. I hear the plow coming through for the first time here, as we have snow falling in the Hudson Valley. Just supposed to be a little bit of snow. Could be as much as 5 inches, but who knows? I want to be in Florida. I want to be in Florida, not year round. I want to have a home in Maine too. So if any of you could make that happen for me, feel free to email me. Good night, everybody. Or if you're watching in the afternoon, have a great rest of the afternoon, and join us again. Hit the notification bell so you know when we are live. Bye bye now.